live feed there from the press center where Pressure Group Arise Ghana held a press conference or addressed a news conference today on the demonstration today at the Brasport at the Kwame Nkrumah interchange. They were supposed to have marched from there to the Independence Square. However, they challenged that route by the police because they say they have filed a process to challenge what the court directed yesterday, and that should act as a stay of execution. For that matter, it was up to them to decide on which route to use for today's demonstration. The police has issued a statement saying that they were attacked by the protesters without provocation. 12 of their men injured and receiving treatment. However, this group challenges that. In fact, they accused the police of instigating the chaos. Rex Omar, when he had his opportunity to address this news conference, made that comment. We had Sami Jemfi, who just spoke a while ago, also saying that the police had a predetermined agenda. He goes on to accuse the police of actually planting some men among the protesters to misbehave. And his evidence to that claim is that when some of these people were presented to the police failed to arrest them. He says some of their men have been picked up. They will provide legal counsel to them. And of course, for those who have been injured, they will provide some health assistance to them, cover their bills. However, they are unfazed by what has transpired today at the demonstration at the Brasport, the Kwame Nkrumah interchange. They're promising to show up tomorrow in their numbers to continue with the protest. We'll see how that unfolds. But this is Joy News Prime.
Now, when you
Those were violent and chaotic scenes at the Obraspo Tuesday afternoon as a charged crowd got ready to march against the current rising cost of living in the country. They clashed with the police officers. The demonstrators were protesting what they call bad governance, corruption, insecurity, among several other concerns under the Akufo-Addo administration. They insisted on marching through the Ring Road central to the Jubilee House as against a directive for them to use the Kwame Nkrumah Avenue to the Independence Square. Now, the police deployed about 500 officers with an order from the IGP to ensure a smooth event. But that did not happen. The protest turned chaotic with several people injured. My colleague Manuel Quentin captured the situation.
So what we're seeing currently in the shots are the protesters, some of them throwing and flying stones towards the police crowd control vehicles. Again, as we get closer to the action, you see a heap of car tires that have actually been set ablaze in the middle of the once really motorable space which connected the Kwame Nkrumah section, Kwame Nkrumah interchange section of the road to the Ring Road central area. Now more and more stones are being flown from the protesters towards the police officers, and more and more stones are being flown from the side of the protesters towards the police officers.
They are throw rubber bullets.
And that's what we have. What did they send to you?
They throw rubber bullets. Yes, it's rubber bullets.
So these are the samples of the rubber bullet that
They are the sample of the rubber bullets. Oh, these are the samples.
But we also saw you throwing stones.
They throw tear gas. Look myself. This is rubber bullets.
If the police are scared of terrorist attack infiltrating us, the stupidity they are exhibiting would rather encourage the terrorists, if they are here, to take action. If we do it peacefully, without the stupidity, the terrorists will not have the opportunity to do what they want to do. If their reason is about terrorism attack, the stupidity they are exhibiting. If you
keep mentioning what stupidity and so on, but the police are not allowing you to use it.
The truth is that do you have an agreement?
To lead us, we want to present our grievances.
They said no. Who is the president? We gave it up.
So now I can perceive tear gas, very strong tear gas, which has been fired into the crowd, essentially expected to protest the crowd, of course, disperse the crowd, which has actually been charging towards the police officers. Now I hear them chanting, Mumbra, that in Tree translates as come forward if you want.
No.
But why do you want to push towards the police officers?
No, because they are refusing to allow us use the legitimate route we were supposed to use. We are here to register our displeasure on the kind of governance being administered on we the Ghanaian people. Corruption everywhere, unemployment everywhere, high cost of living, high transportation fares, high fuel prices, and we've come here today to register our displeasure. And these police officers, very unprofessional ones.
And so I'm just seeing one of the leaders of the demonstration, Edem Agbana. He's a deputy national youth organizer for the opposition NDC. Mr. Edem Agbana, this is not the demonstration that you promised to organize.
Those who make peaceful demonstrations, okay, those who make it difficult to have peaceful demonstrations, they make violent demonstrations inevitable. We are not the cause of the problem. It is these puppets called the Ghana Police Service being used by Akufo-Addo. We promised a peaceful demonstration and we came in peace. But these hoodlums sent by Akufo-Addo decided to visit violence on us. But we are not intimidated. And that is why some of us are still standing.
But the police says that it's not going to allow you to use this route. I mean, what is so difficult in using another route to press home your grievance?
The police agreed with us to use this route. Now, what changed? Who is the order from above? Is it the cronies and the thieves at the Flagstaff House? Who is the order from above?
Madam, I can see some mark here. What
yes.
happened?
I am a leader. I was leading my people to have a positive defiance. I must not leave my people and run away. I was there with them. My phones were taken by the police. I am telling you that it is the police people who stole my 2 phones. I strapped my phone around me. The police took the phones away from me, but I refused to run away. I will not run. I'm here.
Are you still going to be here?
I am here. I am with the people. I am here. You can see I'm still standing.
Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Akufo-Addo is a tyrant. It's a tyrant president. This is sensitivity must stop.
This man is a murderer man. It's a murderer man. It's a killer.
Akufo-Addo is a killer. It's a killer. This tyrant president must go. This tyrant president must go. It's a criminal president.
It should be on record that Nana Addo, who says he's a democratic leader, look at what he's doing.
He doesn't believe in democracy.
Look at what he's doing. But we can assure Nana Addo one thing. We can assure Nana Addo one thing, that the NDC will resist. We will resist and we will resist. We will resist all oppressive rule.
And currently we are being mobbed. We are being mobbed here, and just around here we're seeing another set of ties that have been set ablaze. Just around here we are seeing another set of ties that have been set ablaze over here by the group of demonstrators. And now more tear gas, more tear gas, more tear gas, and more tear gas, more tear gas, more tear gas, and more tear gas. That's what we're seeing currently on the road, which actually was serving as the point of movement for the protesters. Now nobody is allowed to move towards the demonstrators. Nobody is allowed to also move towards the police officers. This is what is happening, like a movie unfolding right before our very eyes. And we've just spoken to Edem Agbana, who is one of the lead organizers of the demonstration. And what he tells us is that this is as a result of the police's decision to prevent the protesters from using the space of the road towards the Flagstaff House. Well, now I can count as many as 8 tear gas canisters that have been fired into the teeming crowd here. In just the past couple of minutes, just about some 5 minutes ago, this entire area was inundated with people who were protesting. And now, in just like a flash, this entire space has been abandoned. And now what we are seeing is tear gas being fired into the protesters.
And you saw that the last few seconds of that package we brought you was very shaky. That was the point that our camera technician was actually affected by the tear gas. Manuel Cranton himself affected, and Maxwell Odoba, who we'll be speaking to shortly, was also affected by this. But the leaders of the demonstration have been defending their actions. Some of them spoke to us.
Agreement with the police.
Yeah, but I thought
entire leadership of the police.
But I thought that
so
agreement. I thought that agreement was that you were not going to go use the ring road and go towards the Flagstaff House. I thought agreement was that you're going to move from here to the Independence Square. That was
they went agreement with who? Who agreed?
With the police.
That was their instructions. It was never our agreement. Our agreement that we have documented with them.
And
use the ring road.
But per the court's ruling, you're supposed to go towards the Independence.
We successfully filed a stay of execution. And so the court procedure doesn't even come in here. The only thing we are saying is that the police service have allowed themselves to be used by Akufo-Addo and his cronies to execute this agenda, but we are not intimidated at all.
All of a sudden, we saw stones coming from the back. And I was in front. We saw stones. What was these stones for? Then tear gas. I'm sure you saw it. Yeah. The true tear gas that didn't explode. Did you see it? You are so where did it come from? It didn't come from the police directly. Did you see that? Please, let's be honest to Ghanaians. Saw it. Did you see a policeman throw his tear gas? We saw the one that the policeman threw. But the one that was throwing from this one was not from the police.
Listen, we have stayed the ruling. A stay of execution means that whatever ruling the judge has given has been put on hold. So far as we are concerned, we are operating on the original agreement we had with the police, because what they went to court to get and the ruling that the court gave is in abeyance. So please, let's understand this simple thing and stop all these misinterpretations
Assuming without admitting that stay of execution is applicable or it's in effect now, you had meetings with the police and they told you that the demonstration cannot go beyond 4 p.m.
By law, we are supposed to notify the police and agree with them on a route. They cannot so moto decide that we should take a particular route or go in a particular manner. We are the citizens of this country and power resides in our hands. The police, by law, are mandated to do what? To guide us and protect us. You see, the police is not supposed to direct us as to how to express our feelings.
And that last soundbite there was George Lowe. He is a private legal practitioner bringing some legal perspective to their actions today. But tonight, the police has been condemning the incident. They say about 12 of their officers have been injured. Let's bring you details of that statement issued by the police on today's demonstration. It says the demonstration by the Arise Ghana group commenced with demonstrators gathering at the Obra Spot at about 8 a.m. Contrary to the court orders, the organizers insisted on using routes leading to the Jubilee House. All attempts to persuade them to comply with the court-approved routes did not yield the expected results. Unfortunately, and without any provocation, the demonstrators began pelting the police with stones. So far, 12 police officers who sustained various degrees of injuries and were treated in the police mobile hospitals have been transferred to the police hospital for further treatment. Some police vehicles have also been damaged. The demonstrators further regrouped and burnt tires on the road around Circle. The fire from the burning tires has since been put out by the police. It continues by saying that the police therefore had no option but to use tear gas and water cannons to subdue the rioting and restore order. The process is still ongoing. The road has partially been cleared, and we urge all road users to continue to bear with us and use alternative routes where possible as we take steps to fully disperse the rioting demonstrators. We wish to assure the public that all those involved in this violent demonstration will be brought to face justice. And this is signed by Grace Akrofi, who is Chief Superintendent of Police, Director Public Affairs. So the leaders of Arise Ghana have been reacting to the concerns raised by the police. In that statement I brought to you, my colleague Maxwell Adbaba was there for us, and he joins us live from the press center where that news conference was organized. Maxwell, what are the issues being raised by Arise Ghana?
Press center where the leadership of Arise Ghana, they've been holding a press conference to address the fallouts of the demonstration that happened some hours ago. It actually started in the morning. We had Rex Omar, we had an executive member of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, and a couple of others addressing the press here. As it stands, things have ended here, but we have with us here Bernard Mona, who is one of the leaders of Arise Ghana, and he's been making the point about the police. Mr. Mona, you are of the view that the crowd control measures deployed by the police was well orchestrated, and you make the point that some provocateurs were actually used to instigate the police to start firing tear gas into the crowd.
Obviously, I mean, you could see that we have been peaceful in everything from the day that we sent notification to the police, that was on the 1st of June. We have always listened and agreed with the police until they did the unthinkable by going to court, and then we went to court. And even when we got to court yesterday, the police who had put in an application were now running away from their own application, saying that they wanted the application to be heard at a different day, until the judge stood on his grounds and insisted that she wanted the application to be heard because of our demonstration today. This afternoon, just about 12:30, the police called me. And when they called me, they said they wanted to have a meeting with the leadership of Arise Ghana. I told them that at that point, I was the only leader that was available. So I called the other leaders. We agreed to meet at the Kwame Nkrumah Amusement Gardens. When they went in after about 20 minutes, I moved to them and said that the other colleagues, plus or minus 20-30 minutes, they will be available. They agreed. They came. When I was trying to move the crowd away from the police so we can have the meeting with them, some persons who were wearing some of our t-shirts, some were wearing red, told me that they were police officers right in front of the police commissioners who had come there. COP Yogunu was there, Idi Lansa was there, Doku was there, Awini was there, Habiba was there. These were the officers right before them that the other people that I thought were protesters told me that they were police officials. They were there to protest their bosses, and therefore they will not move until they protest their bosses. So I left them in the care of their bosses, and I went up. I came back, and these were the people who guided the police to come and meet with us. When we got down, after we addressed the crowd within the Kwame Nkrumah Amusement Gardens, we walked down, myself, Asiedu Nketia, Ofusu Ampofo. Which one of us is a violent person? We were going to see why the police had barricaded the other end. When we were going there, we saw the policeman stand on top with his gun, started firing. So I told the protesters to move back. So I even broke the chain and went out to bring the protesters and said, don't go. All of a sudden, those same police officers who told me that they were there to guide their bosses, I saw them pelting at their own colleagues. What do you want me to say? That it is President Akufo-Addo's violence he transmitted through this medium so that they can start attacking us, and they did.
You mentioned that some of the protesters are injured, but in the face of all this, it's still, you said you have an unwavering spirit in the face of what described as oppression from the police. You say you're going to continue with this at the Elwak Sports Stadium tomorrow?
Take today's date, that is 28th.
Okay.
Despite that is 28th June. Some 1948, 28th February, the colonialists decided to brutalize innocent Ghanaians who were on a peaceful demonstration. 28th. The recent and current colonialists of our time is President Akufo-Addo. He chooses the date 28th to unleash brutality on the people of Ghana. What else can we do as innocent citizens? We should stop because Akufo-Addo has brutalized us? No, we are not daunted. We will go on our demonstration tomorrow.
So tomorrow you're starting from
the Sports Stadium at 9 o'clock. We move to the Russian embassy, come out of the Christ the King traffic light, take the Liberation Road, come and terminate at the Parliament House, in front of the Parliament House.
And that's the agreement you went into?
That is what we have agreed. We initially had said that tomorrow we'll go to the Ministry of Finance, which is the capital city of corruption. And that is the fact that we are seeking economic liberation. We should go to the Ministry of Finance. The police say they will not allow that. As for meeting our people representative in the frontage of Parliament, we will go.
Okay. Thank you for speaking to us. So clearly, that is the common denominator for all the people we've spoken to here at the International Press Center, where the leadership of Arise Ghana has been addressing the press. As you can see, the media has dispersed. All the people who came here, many of them have left. But they are relentless and saying that they're going to go ahead and continue with their protest tomorrow at the Elwak Sports Stadium. But from here, we're going to circle to see what the place looks like some hours after police was compelled to fire tear gas to disperse the crowd that had gathered under the Kwame Nkrumah interchange protesting. And those are some more visuals for you on today's protest. We have all the angles covered. Maxwell will be joining us to bring us some more on this. But right now, let's bring in a fraud and security consultant, Richard Kumador. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on Joy News Prime. And so the IGP had said that this was going to be an opportunity to demonstrate world-class policing. Unfortunately, this has ended up like all the other demonstrations that we have seen, very violent, very chaotic, persons injured, including 12 police officers per the police account. What will be your reaction to what we have seen today?
No, definitely something has gone bad again. The credibility of 21st century policing has become a major issue, and the police have a credibility issues to deal with. I think their public relations has been dent again, and they are not able to deliver what even the IGP told them to do. It is interesting to look at the new trend that is coming up. From where we pick it from Ejura to Nkraza to the Muslim school, and to this particular one, there's a new trend coming up. And we in the security intelligence community are studying it so closely. And so to answer your question straight away, I think some few things were not done right, and it is time we look at it again.
But the police say they were attacked without provocation. So in the face of that provocation, what would be your assessment of their reaction to that attack that came to them? They were pelted, their vans were vandalized, and indeed now we are learning that 12 of their officers have been injured. Would you say that that reaction, the firing of tear gas, was commensurate or proportionate enough to the kind of attack that they saw at the scene?
Definitely, there was buses that looked like they have been attacked by stones. The police have the power to maintain law and order. The police have the power to assure public safety guarantees are achieved. The police have the power to arrest anybody. And to the extent that you heard a commentary, people introduced people to the police and the police shaded them. It raises many more questions. To be frank with you, I think this type of demonstrations and the reactions and the actions we are seeing, it look a little bit more staged. And it is difficult to believe the position of the police in particular. I think we are not doing well as a nation, and as a people, we are not doing too well. And it is time to look at it from the point of the demonstrators and from the point of law enforcement and see where we could find a common ground to create some level of reasonability, credibility for ourselves, and create the criteria for, proper law enforcement and proper behavior in this country. Other than that, we are losing it so gradually.
So this continues tomorrow. They have said that they are unfazed by what has happened today. They're coming out in their numbers to protest tomorrow, and they insist on the route that they have given to the police. We have just a few hours to the start of that second round or second day of the protest by Arise Ghana. What would be your advice to the police in terms of their approach to tomorrow's demonstration?
I was a bit worried when Bernard Mona mentioned the names of the police officers he did. Those are the ones that when things go wrong, you can count on them to calm down tempers and to touch grounds and to water down the ground. But to the extent that they were in the garden with them and we saw the outcome of what we are talking about, I'm a bit worried that who again within the Ghana Police Service will have the courage or will be encouraged to get to the grounds and make sure that things are done properly. I have covered many demonstrations in my 25 or 30 years as a law enforcement officer or as somebody who have worked with the BNI closely or as somebody who commands a bit more respect within the security intelligence community. And I'm a bit more ashamed. It's disgraceful. It is shameful. And I think on the part of the demonstrators, on the part of law enforcement, especially the big boys within the law enforcement agencies, I think we are trained officers and we need to rise above what we are talking about. It is not a proper thing. It's an eyesore, and I'm a bit more worried.
The police has been challenged. A challenge has been thrown to the police to provide proof of the men they say have been injured because, like you heard some of them say, they believe that some of these people were planted in the crowd by the police to disrupt the event. And you even allude to the fact that some of it looked as if it was staged and well planned. Do you think, and you question the PR of the police, do you think that the police must address a news conference on this and make matters a bit more clearer and bring the facts to bear?
Their hands are dent, and as much as they want to come clean, I think this could have been avoided. We don't need it. It could have been prevented. You remember when the police went to Kumasi and crashed with the Muslim student? The report that came out is that the students attacked them and some of their men were injured. The police went to Nkraza and the outcome was a mess. And the police claimed that the demonstrators fired stones at them and they used live bullets. The reason why, my brother, they are not using live bullets in Accra is that there are too many cameras here and there are too many people watching, and the stakes in Accra are very high. Other than that, you should not be surprised to see live bullets being used. I'm saying that the police might have a proof that people are throwing stones at them and some of their men have been injured. But this whole thing, looking at it from 21st century law enforcement point of view and security operations management in the 21st century, benchmarking best practices, it looks to me, and many more people, that it got to do with a bit more West stage and something that the police were not ready for the demonstrators, and they are doing everything to stop them. But the manner at which they went at it, I think it raises more questions than answers.
Thank you very much. That's Richard Commodore. He is a security consultant joining us on the Arise Ghana demonstration. Still to come here on Joy News Prime. Other stories now. Scores of people have been displaced in Wale Wale in the northeast region following the destruction of their buildings and other properties in a demolition exercise by the Municipal Assembly. According to the Assembly, the demolition exercise is to pave way for the start of the second phase of the Wale Wale Township Road project. Some of the affected property owners who now live with family or relatives told Joy News that the Assembly failed to give them adequate notice and a dialogue opportunity for possible compensation before carrying out the exercise was denied. The Assembly has, however, denied the allegation, insisting that only illegal structures were cleared. Correspondent Ilyasu Tanko has more.
The beginning of last month, the West Mamprose Municipal Assembly has been carrying out a mass demolition exercise in the municipal capital, Wale Wale. The exercise, according to the Assembly authorities, is to clear the way for the commencement of Phase 2 of the Wale Wale Township Roads Expansion Project. Areas affected by the exercise include Foni, Nayilifong, Kukwazugu, and Mosifong, where dozens of houses and other structures including stores have been demolished, causing a mass displacement of the residents there. At Mosifong, where the exercise was underway, residents looked on helplessly as their buildings were being razed down. Already, the residents were still battling with the destruction of their properties by a severe rainstorm that swept through the town a few weeks ago. Speaking to Joy News, the victims recounted their losses and call for the assistance of the government. Those 3 houses being destroyed over there are mine, 13 rooms, all gone. We have been rendered homeless and displaced by that. My major concern, however, is that this is happening during the rainy season. We are happy that they want to construct the road, but they also have to come to our aid to accommodate us.
Are destroying us. We don't know where we are sleeping. We just need a help for them to find a place and sleep. That is our problem. We are appealing for them.
We are pleading for assistance because my children and I are homeless now. I do not know where to accommodate my kids. We haven't been given any compensation. This woman is pointing at her 2-bedroom house which was being pulled down. She is now displaced alongside her 6 children. I built this house 2 years ago with all my resources. Now that it has been destroyed, I have nowhere to go, and my children too. Tell the government to come to our aid. The exercise also affected a popular Arabic school in the area. This little girl could not hold it as she watched her school being damaged by heavy machinery. Amadou Azara also claimed to have lost a bedroom and her metal-made store. She said they were hardly given enough notice of the exercise and criticized the Assembly's decision not to pay compensations for the destruction of their properties.
Let's now find out what's happening in the world of showbiz, and she's here.
Hello to you, Ernest.
Hi,
I'm
Becky.
here to
How are you
update
doing?
you. I'm fantastic. I'm here to update you on the various projects some of our musicians are embarking on. Stonebwoy is embarking on a world tour. No, it's actually a Europe tour. Ifya is set to release that much anticipated album.
Ifya, which one?
Ifya Gingham.
Okay.
Nocturnal. Yeah, she's set to release an album. And Becca is, for a very long time we haven't heard from Becca, and she has a lot.
Is she back now? Because I wanted to ask you that yesterday. I saw her at the
yeah, she took a break.
30,
She took a break, and she says that she owes her fans, better, like something better. So she's been working on something, better for the fans. And so we had this conversation with all these people.
I mean, I've been working on the album for so long, and unfortunately at a certain point, I mean, like I told people I was going to release some music and I was going to take a back seat, and I still have that. I owe that to my fans and people that love me so much. Along the way, of course, my mom passed, and so it stretched some more. I had to just, sit back and just put things together, and I think I'm ready now for people to hear the album. It's still in works, but I'm telling you, it's almost complete. But everybody knows me, I'm a perfectionist. You can't get everything perfect, but I try to make it as perfect. Not for myself. For myself, yes, it's important because I need to enjoy what I'm producing and what I'm giving to people. But to my fans out there who have been longing to listen to Becca's music for so long, I don't think I can just give them anything. I have to give them good work, extraordinary work, something fantastic that they would appreciate. So it's in the pipeline, and I'm certain this year I'm going to release a song. But I'm thinking that I'll do a single first, maybe.
I definitely cannot wait for that album. I mean, it's gonna drop like a bomb, and I think that would be better. It's gonna drop like a bomb. Let me know what kind of bomb. Right. It's gonna be a Hiroshima. It's gonna be a Nagasaki. We can wait. But how many songs of that album that we're expecting to drop like a bomb? Do we know how many songs it is? Are you doing this all by yourself, or you gotten some people that are involved, like featuring somebody? Will Sarkodie be on the album? It's gonna drop like a bomb. I miss you. Me too.
I'm just staying home. You know what I mean? I'm just staying home. But yeah, we have all the reason.
I did that to myself.
We have all.
Leaving? Yeah, be like saying now they pass. But
yeah, but I forgot you put inside.
So
Yeah.
do you know that she has an album coming out?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you on that album?
I could say yes.
Okay, great. You're telling them.
I can say yes. I said it. I didn't say I'm on it, but I said I can say yes. Exactly.
Biggie bam, biggie bam, biggie bam bam.
Baby, the finest.
So my grandmother says she doesn't understand the song.
Grandmother, it's a simple song. It's if you have a big bomb, then it's a biggie bomb. Everybody got a bomb, but not everybody got a biggie bomb. Okay. So I'm just telling everybody to dance. Okay. No matter the size is big for you. So it's a biggie bomb. Whine it. Okay. It's a dancing thing.
How's it doing? How's the song doing?
I think it's amazing. It's a matured song, so you'd have to but the melodies are amazing and catchy. My son and my daughter, 3 and 5, they sing that, so I think it's great. Everybody loves it, and it's gonna get bigger and bigger. So look out for the therapy tour in Europe next week, because I've been on tour already. I'm only gonna continue summer. So
yeah. All the best. We wish you all the best, Stonebwoy.
Thank you. Enough respect. Bless up.
Stonebwoy right there.
Understands now.
Yeah. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, she's not here with us. But still on Stonebwoy, he has some advice for the females in the music industry. You know that there've been calls for support for the female musicians, and so he is just basically telling the female musicians to just put themselves first, use the social media wisely.
I know, you see, I think we have a lot of females who are talented and can show it, but there are few opportunities that exist in the entire music industry. Therefore, they have to fight amongst the male ones to get recognition. And the men are always the stronger vessels. So it's rather unfortunate that it makes them become they become the minority. So for somebody like Miss V to hold on, get depressed, pardon my words, come back, keep killing it, that it's not easy. You know what I mean? So I can only tell all the ladies that continue to use social media as a tool to to propel your music. That's the only opportunity that doesn't require too much. It only requires your data. Keep tagging people, keep pushing, and it can fly off from that side. So that's all I got to say.
All right, so that's it for Showbiz. Thank you very much, Becky. But we've been covering the demonstration all day. Tomorrow it continues. Would you do us the honors of covering that for us?
Yeah, if Stonebwoy decides to join the demonstration or anyone, I'll be there.
Entertainment Showbiz linked?
Say that again?
Should it always be Showbiz?
It doesn't necessarily have to.
I want to redeploy you.
That's okay. I mean, I can do it. What exactly would you want me to do?
We'll discuss that. Thank you very much for watching.